And we're back. Doesn't feel like we're into a semi-finals of the Champions League or top of the Premier League going into Sunday's clash, does it, Arsenal fans? That's because if we just look at the cold-hearted data, you offered that in August, we're having that. But when you look at the micro, we've done well this season, but we've not evolved. We're not playing any differently. There's still cracks in the armor in attack. Obviously, players' form is a bit fluctuated. There's injuries. There's all of that kind of stuff. So that's probably why we feel like such. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and let me know. How are we doing about Mikel Arteta, people? Where do you lot stand with Arteta? Because I speak to a bunch of different Arsenal fans. Some, it's now time to win a trophy. Some, even if you don't win the silverware, you can stay. Some, obviously, some are saying if he wins a bit of silverware, he can stay. Even if he doesn't win anything, he can go. Who would we get? All of these kind of things. Where are you at with Mikel Arteta? Bearing in mind, coincidentally, everything kind of went down the toilet in the second half against Manchester City in the League Cup up until this point, and it set off a string of results and kind of stuff that we didn't want to see. In the last few weeks, obviously, it's now come out that Mikel Arteta is in talks with Arsenal to sign a new contract. So you could ask yourself, regardless of whether we win or not, which fingers, toes crossed, we get our acts together, he's staying regardless. It's a bit of a non-story. The KPIs and what we thought or what we believe externally might not be shared internally, people. David Ornstein's been doing a bit of a QA. I'm sure Arsenal want Mikel Arteta to continue into next season and beyond. While it sounds from Arteta's own words as though he wants the same, if things go badly for them between now and the summer, I'm sure there'll be some difficult conversations. I mean, if you're in talks to give the guy a new deal, obviously you want to get over the line, but you've got to think, regardless, I'm going to give him stuff. And he's on 50 mil a year. He's probably going to get an upgrade. Arteta, it's just about delivering, people. He did say in December he needs to earn a new contract, which, again, internally, KPIs might have been hit. Externally, silverware. We came into the season, the gloves are off. We can do a lot better in other things, but we've got the depth, got the individuals, good defensively, been given a good account of ourselves in the Champions League and the league phase, people. The Premier League, apologies. It's fair to ask Arsenal to get over the line. Arteta has rebuilt the football club, not built it, because I do think the language is there. It's like, we was a very pretty, beautiful woman. We forgot we was pretty. We started to think we're ugly. Arteta's reminded us of that. So we're competitive again with a good manager and a good team. Now we need to go from being a competitive side to a great footballing side, a good manager to a great manager, a good team to a great team. That is now, because I think you lot are closer to doing what I'm about to say than going the other way. And that's what's actually annoying, because you lot have made this believable, getting over the line and making history. More points than the Invincibles, back-to-back semi-finals in the Champions League for the first time in our history, in 140 years, and many other things of that ilk, on the pitch, record-breaking in that regards. It reflects that we're a good team. But great teams go down in history. Everything at this football club has been built during Arteta's time towards winning, but now it's a case of actually winning. The dog could win. All the pickpocket and all of that kind of stuff, people can laugh, but these things build a culture. Everything's been built towards that. Now it's about doing this. The gaffer says it, Rice says it, Saliba says it, Saka says it. Everybody wants silverware, in it. There you have it. It'd be naive for me to say I can't see a world in which he departs. Nothing surprises you in football. So the intention is clear, but obviously there's a lot riding on the weeks ahead. Now, I hope it's all fun and games. We win a trophy. We got stability, Arteta, all the things that we think you're good at, take it to another level. The evident areas of improvement from top to bottom at this football club, address it. Because you don't want to have a Liverpool kind of season, in the sense that, winning the Premier League, the way they ended last season, going into this season, it kind of aired complacency in it. Obviously, I take Liverpool season from this position because they actually got the league over the line, people. And that's not to diss Liverpool. That's just, when you get to the mountaintop, you want to stay up there. That is why, I know it's not the same, but we have showed consistencies to be doing what we're doing for the last few years. Obviously, want to get better. Wenger, Jose, Pep Guardiola, the great Alex Ferguson, any manager, footballer, sports person, business that's done it for years or whatever, it's their stamina and their motivation, it's their consistency, it's always chasing the illusion of perfection. So obviously we win the Premier League and all the champs, or either one, we're going to be happy, but the real work starts then, because you've got over the line now. Where do you go from here? We've all played Football Manager. When you win a trophy, you're excited. You might not do things you need to do in the market. I'm just throwing things out there because this happened to me in Football Manager. I gave a young regen, a left back, an opportunity. He took it. We won the league. Great consistency. Didn't act in the market. True colours got shown. Now, that's a video game. This is real life. But we're armchair experts, in it. Following such heavy investment in recent years, it sounds like sales will be really important to Arsenal this summer. It's not clear if sales will have to come before signings or not, but they'll have to come again naturally, in it. Like, you're going to get some money from Kivior. Likewise, whatever we spend in the summer to come, you've already committed 40, 50 odd million, give or take, for Hincapié. As much as it's about bringing money into this club, which, to be honest, if they were to be sold, which I don't want, Ethan Wanyeri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, even if they're sold for 50 million, which is 100% profit on each, 100 plus million, that offset stuff, when I look at it without emotion, they're going to fetch the highest fees, quote unquote. Some players that might fetch similar fees, they're on big wages and they might not necessarily want to go, which is actually my next point. Bringing in money is one thing, looking after the wages is another, because Arteta's going to get a new contract. Several new players have been brought in. Several new players have been given a new contract. The Timbers, the Declan Rices are in line for new contracts. Obviously, the expenditure is rising in it. And you look at our wage growth. Obviously, at the time of these players coming in, I'd say Benjamin White and Gabriel Jesus in particular, it's cool, but times has followed and how it's worked, they need to be moved on. So it's as critical to try and get some money in and free up some wages. Easier said than done. Benjamin White probably is going to go on 100 odd grand a week, could get someone on significantly less. That's down for the scouts. Gabriel Jesus is an absolute priority. One of our top earners, not one of our top players, respectfully to him. Reece Nelson and Fabio Vieira. Nelson gets 100 odd grand. Fabio Vieira is still here. We did give Trossard a new deal. He's on 100 odd grand. Martinelli as well. And there's probably some others. And then you look not just this year, but in the next year or two, depending on what happens and if they evolve and other people and all of this stuff I can't really quantify because we ain't seen it. You will have to watch the futures of Kai Havertz and Odegaard. Big wages, key to the Mikel Arteta system. 2 years left on their deals. I'm just throwing random names, a Mikel Merino or whatever for me. And on top of that, in terms of incomings, we need a centre mid, like someone that's on par, quote unquote, or in the same kind of bracket as a Declan Rice or a Zubimendi. So at the very least, you got three man. Maybe Arteta has the confidence to rotate, because I don't think that's an excuse. But for some reason, Lewis Skelly's not been in midfield. Norgar's not really been given a look in. Had they have not had stop-start seasons and whatnot, you would probably look at the Mikel Marinos, the Kai Havertz to deputise, maybe Odegaard in a deeper role, another one that's had a stop-start season. So I don't think so far we've learned anything. Obviously, the last time we met Atletico Madrid in the European tie was the semi-finals of the Europa League. The second leg was at the Emirates, and Koscielny bottled it, and Arsenal bottled it, and Atletico Madrid dumped us out in it, people. And Griezmann is still there. Well, he's left and come back. Maybe some positive news on the Noni Madueke front. Early diagnosis is that Noni Madueke has avoided a serious injury and is instead suffering with a dead leg. The winger will be assessed by Arsenal medical staff over the coming days, but there is optimism he'll be fit to face Manchester City. I mean, we know we're not getting Kvaratskhelia. Everybody loves Kvaratskhelia, according to David Ornstein, but I fully expect him to stay at PSG. He seems extremely happy there, and they are certainly extremely happy with him. I don't think Arsenal or anyone else has a chance at the moment, bro. The dream is free to Arsenal sold separately. Gordon's been linked with Bayern Munich as well as Arsenal, and there's a lot of rumblings coming out of Newcastle. Just generally, Newcastle fans have probably been entertained on Google. There are plenty of suggestions around the industry that Bayern Munich could be the direction of travel for Anthony Gordon. I don't know of him being at the top of Arsenal's list, and from what I hear, a move to Liverpool is not of his or their agenda. And I do think David Ornstein also said and talked up Gordon's chances of potentially, being enticed by living in London. So it could be Chelsea. The Sun Sport has said he would prefer a move to London over any other city. I understand that. Arsenal also have other players on their list as they look to upgrade their options on the left, with either Martinelli or Trossard likely to leave. More so Trossard, in my opinion. Apparently, Arsenal scouted wonder kid Enrique Granas, 16. The player dubbed the next Martin Odegaard, made his first team debut for Frankenstadt at 15 years of age and 90 days, breaking Odegaard's record as the youngest player to feature in Norwegian's top flight. Bring him in. Obviously, he'd have to move when he's 18. If he's good enough to progress to the first team, great. If you can bring him in for a couple of million, like, for example, I'm just throwing fees out there, probably not this, but grab him for 10 million, he becomes a 40 million, 50 million pound player, and he's not quite made it here. Can't go wrong making a profit in business, innit? So draw the conclusions you want to draw in that regards. It's clear Arsenal want an attacker. Anthony Gordon and Bradley Barcola have been among the players they have liked for a while Julian Alvarez, and there will naturally be more. I'm not aware of anything firm at present, people. James Ellis, who has departed Arsenal, courtesy of Sammy Moltbell, people, has apparently given an interview. Let's just see how long it was. Let's see exactly what's been said here, people. Title win for title win, wonderful for all staff at the club. I'm just gonna go over the quotations, people, because you know these articles, there's a lot of tosh. Of course, it would have been nice to stay around to see what hopefully unfolds. However, it was not to be, and I just hope for everyone, and I mean everyone, that there's a sense of happiness, contentment, and joy at the end of the season. We certainly do that and do hope for that. Smash the like button if you agree, Arsenal fans, and even you haters watching this. Of course, it'd be a wonderful achievement for Mikel, staff, and the players, their families, but also for those who have been at the club for a number of years, those who have contributed to getting to this point. The staff that in the background that no one knows, it is for the people I'll be really happy for. I'm a lifelong apologies, Arsenal supporter. So I'll now just be a fan, a supporter that looks on, hopefully, when success comes the club's way. The fact that I've managed to work at my boyhood club is an added bonus. Big up you. What else has he said here? Apparently, we're doing a more data-led approach. Obviously, we've known about that owing to moving away from when we had primarily Arsene Wenger and also somewhat Unai Emery. We all know he's been a key driver in such implementations around the academy and all of those things. In any rise, I believe it is the sum of all parts rather than just one process or person. I was very lucky to be working with some talented people. Apparently, football intelligence helped us sign Timber. So where's that football intelligence when we're committing 65 million to Noni Madueke? Sorry, Kai Havertz, or 50 for Noni. And it's not to get at the players, but could there be more value for money? I don't know, people. Just throwing it out there. My role was very much in the background. When I arrived in 2021, Edu, Jason, Tim Lewis, and Mikel were very much on the start of the journey to bring success back to the club. We all wanted to make the place better with people at the heart of it. We're all committed to a plan over a period of time to support the growth and development of performance. All of the time I was at the club, we were all attempting to improve every day. That was the culture we were trying our best. He wants to return with people-focused approach. I agree with that. We were very clear that the red arrow at the front was Mikel, and the first team was the one that we had to support closely. But that was also the pool that allowed us to do more. Consistent first team performance allowed us to innovate more with the rest of the club, play risk and reward, and invest in the medium and long term. Ultimately, a club is as successful as first team performance, and we all understand that. We all know Edu's gone, and we've shifted to Berta. The change from Edu to Jason to Andrea was an evolution for the club and one natural in any performance environment. There were different approaches, but the goal was the same: to support a high-performing first team winning trophies. And now he's left, he could talk freely, but we are high-performing. Are we winning trophies? And as you see now, they are very nearly there. All three of them are very different people who have very different strengths and all have made a contribution to where the club is now. I feel I have unfinished impact and objectives I would like to achieve. I've been through rejection, education, coaching, scouting, senior leadership, all in this, and would like to carry on. I believe that investment in people is so important in high performance. You undoubtedly need all the technology, the data, the facilities. You have to have support, but it's the people that are irreplaceable: connections, relationships, support, understanding, care, and motivation. Those who lead, those who work for you or around you, they are important. Facts, man. I can't disagree with that. We have gone over that. Persistent impression of nonchalance. Ethan Wanyeri failing to impress at Marseille despite loan fee being tied to minutes. So when you're not impressing, allegedly, and your loan fee's tied to minutes, and the new manager don't really feel you're in issues, these things will make you grow. You've not got right. Listen, you don't know. I was on Wanyeri going out on loan to get first team football. My priority was you playing more of a prominent role at Arsenal Football Club. But you've gone to France. You've learned a new league, a new language, a new environment, new first team. You've got away from Arsenal, which he's obviously a young man now, but you've been a toddler, essentially a very young kid, a very young kid, a teenager, a young adult, gone through all of the things you go through in life at that point, all at Arsenal Football Club. You're away now. So that helps you grow as a man. And unfortunately, as a footballer, if you start at 16 and end at, I don't know, 35, you're not gonna, it don't go just like this and you stay up here. There's gonna be that, there's gonna be downs, there's gonna be ups, there's gonna be all of that kind of stuff. And obviously, De Zerbi never stayed at the club. He's not getting a look in under the new manager, who is preferring other options. And it's that age-old thing, innit, people? Football is a funny old game of opinions. Thierry Henry, I do believe, I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. This year, I do believe we can win the league. This is the biggest chance of your life just to prove to yourself as a team that we can. And then people will not talk about the word they want to use, that I do not want to use. I do believe personally, but I'm sitting in the chair for CBS. There's nothing I can do. Now, I heard fire. I want to see that fire at the Etihad. If you have the face of Declan Rice, go back to that. At the end of the game, I stayed with his face. You had a lot of guys smiling, but his face, I don't know. Maybe I need to speak to him to know what he had in his head. This is a guy who just went through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. There's no positive or negative here. We're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Well done. That didn't happen a lot in history. So obviously I'm over the moon. But City, I want the team to win there, not a draw. Statement, facts. Facts and facts. A draw wouldn't be the worst. I'm not going to get into Joe Cole because I'm not a fan of how the media kind of talk up Arsenal and they're the first to tear them down.